brown sugar with the candy cans.
Ooh. That is hot, and it is hot outside. But hey, my sweeties, welcome to Afternoon Tea Time with Tea. Take two. And so today I'm gonna talk to y'all about something that I had been thinking about for a while, and then it took me to watch an episode of Insecure a couple of weeks ago to really be like, maybe I should talk about it. I'm sorry, it's really hot outside, and that tea just like almost sweating my edges out. So I'm gonna talk to you about imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is when one doubts their own accomplishments and have like this persistent feeling of being exposed as a fraud. To simplify it, or as an example, when you have been doing so great and achieving a lot of things, but you can't help but feel like you didn't do it on your own, or you didn't deserve to be there in that spot. And that really touches near and dear with me, because I mean, sometimes I be feeling like a fraud. Like half the stuff that I do or half the achievements that I get are not mine, and I didn't deserve it. I guess it kind of started when I was a child. I was really smart. Like I think I was a genius as a child. And people could probably tell you about me when I was a child. Like I was on everything, straight A's, honor roll every
Wow,
year.
that's great. You want a cookie?
I didn't put much effort into it. Like that stuff just came to me. Like I just knew it. Like 2 + 2 is 4. Like I woke up knowing that stuff, and I don't know where it came from. Maybe genetics. I don't know, but I never, like, I didn't think I was doing anything special. But all of my friends would come to me, ask me to help them with their homework, or man, even cheat tests, work assignments, whatever. It didn't even matter. And that was going on with me throughout 1st through 12th grade. Like, but I felt like I was. I'm just a regular schmegular girl. I didn't think it was nothing. You know, it wasn't that deep to me. When I was going to college, I only applied to 4 colleges. And these were colleges that I just knew I was going to get into. I didn't write an essay for it. My SAT scores, I took my SATs one time, and that was it. Like, y'all wasn't going to get nothing else from me. I wasn't applying to Ivy Leagues because I didn't feel like I belonged in the Ivy League. I wasn't smart enough to get there. Like, I literally only applied to things that I thought that without a doubt I had it in the bag. So then as I got older, I guess a great example of that is my current job now. And when I first went for the job interview, it was a whole year before I had actually got the job. I had 2 interviews. So the first time I went, it was a year before that. And I went to the interview. I did not do good at the interview at all. Like, that was the hardest interview I have ever had, to the point where I was damn near in tears when I was leaving, or even choking up while I was in the interview. Like, I couldn't believe that they were asking me all of these questions, and I'm like, first of all, I didn't think that like an interview is that deep to me, because previously every interview I went to, I aced. I didn't put no effort into them. I was myself. Like, stuff just came to me. But then after that interview, I was like, wow, I actually have to put effort into trying to get something. Like, it's not going to come to me easily like it has previously in my life. So long story short, I didn't get the job. I didn't get it. But then a year later, for some reason, they called me and said, oh yeah, your application is still on file, because I had still been applying for that job after I left, because I thought the company was amazing and I wanted to be a part of it so bad. I just wanted them to give me another chance to prove it. So, but when they called me, I was in a really like low time at my previous job. And I'm like, all right, this is a sign from God. So I'm gonna do everything I can to get this job. So I studied my behind off, like studied the ins and outs of this job from start to finish, history, who's the leaders of this job. I even remember some of the questions they asked me from the previous interview. I researched everything. I had a folder, I had a tablet, I had so much information. So when I came back, everything was like boom, 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 boom. Boom. Got the job like not even 24 hours. So now that I'm in the position, well, when I first started in the position, because now I've been here for over 3 months, but when I first started, I felt incompetent. Like, I felt like I faked my way to that job. I was an imposter. Like, everybody else was, I felt like was really smart. Like, the people I work with are really, really smart and really, really knowledgeable about it. And I was just sitting there like, I didn't feel like I deserved to be there. Like, especially because, like, everybody was pretty professional in my eyes. And to me, I'm just some little hood chick. And I'm not even a hood chick, but I just felt like I was a hood chick. Like, people were very positive. People knew exactly what they were talking about. One of the people that worked there tried to make me feel like I didn't know what I was talking about. And I was really doubting myself, like, maybe I really don't deserve to be here. Like, I really felt like a fraud. Like, so that was like the first couple of months, it was really, really hard for me to adjust because I felt like I was so behind. But luckily, like, the people in my job, my supervisor and the people on my team made me feel like I belong. They openly welcomed me with open arms and said, ask any question you need to. I'd rather you ask a question than not to ask a question and really not know. So they really made me feel comfortable. I feel like I belong. Like, maybe I do belong here. One of the negative things about imposter syndrome, or how I'm feeling about my imposter syndrome, is that I limited myself so much to what my potential was. Like, I figured, like, I don't think I can get into that. Matter of fact, I knew I couldn't get into that, or I knew I couldn't get that scholarship. I knew I couldn't get into that school. I know that job not going to want me because I don't meet all the requirements. So I'm just not going to apply. I'm not going to play myself. Because I also have this thing, like, if I apply myself to do something and it takes like a lot out of me to do and I put my all into it, when I don't get anything back in return, I get shattered. Like, I feel really bad about myself. Like, that's a bad trait to have. It's just really a bad trait to have, to try to limit yourself to what you think. So you put yourself in a box, and that's really small-minded of me. And even to this day, like, one of the things that I struggle with is asking for help. And I never thought that I was like the person that had an issue with asking for help. I feel like, yeah, I would ask for help if I needed it. I'm very verbal like that. But there are things that I really will not ask for help for. And it's like, I had to really check myself, like, why, if you know you need this, why aren't you asking for help? And it's definitely a pride thing with me. But like I said, going back to that imposter syndrome, I felt like if I ask for help, it might make me seem a little incompetent. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. And I never wanted anybody to feel like I don't know what I'm doing or I don't know what I'm talking about. So with that being said, I'll do a lot of research on my own or just watch. And a lot of times I just sit and watch and see how things turn out so that I could be like, okay, this is how it's done. As opposed to just going to the source and asking, like, can you help me? Like, how do I do X, Y, and Z? It's not a negative thing, but when you know you need answers to something immediately and you still being prideful and not asking for help, then that's when it can become detrimental. Like, now that I'm aware of it, I am more open to doing it. I have been doing it. I've been reaching out more to people. Because sometimes it gets tiring to just do everything on your own or try to figure it out on your own. And it's not productive, especially if I really don't find no answers on my own. Having imposter syndrome is not always negative, because it definitely helps. It like pushes me to do better. Like if I felt like if I feel like I don't deserve anything, or I don't deserve something, I'm gonna push myself harder to get it. I will no longer take no for an answer. I'm kicking through ceilings. Like I'm kicking through glass doors, glass ceilings. Man, y'all get the point. I'm kicking through something. I'm not going to limit myself anymore. I mean, I guess if y'all can relate to any of the things that I just said, you're definitely going through some type of imposter syndrome. All I can suggest is that, you know, I do better, you do better, we do better together, because we do deserve to be here. We do deserve that job. We do deserve that man. We do deserve that house. We do deserve whatever it may be that you think that you don't deserve. You deserve it, because if you got it, that meant that it was meant for you. And it's a work in progress. Like, you're not going to wake up overnight, but definitely now that we can identify like features of imposter syndrome, we should be able to do better. Until then, keep sipping, sweetie.